the definitions were changed by, evolutionary scientists because the influence of evolution. So, for example, aves, which comes from Latin, which is what means bird. Aves doesn't mean bird anymore. Since 1986, ave, it's not bird. So actually, aves has around 4 to 6 different definitions. Depending on the group that it's studying, the group that is writing a paper, the group that it's doing research, you're going to have different definition of the word aves. For example, the word feather. When I talk to you about feather, and you talk to me about feather, we can kind of understand like, okay, what a feather is. But no, now we have to define what a feather is, because it has, the definition of the word feather has been changed also because the influence of evolutionary ideas. So what they think is a feather is not a feather like we all understand what a feather is. A feather is that complex and all the structure, the branching structure of a feather, plus everything that came before a feather. So for example, a filament is now defined as a feather because that's inside of the evolutionary ideas. So the word aves was changed, the word bird was changed, the word feather was changed, and the word dinosaur was changed, because now if you go and check what a dinosaur is, you're gonna see characteristics of bird inside of the definition of a dinosaur. But why? In 1881, the word theropod was defined. And when it was defined, I was just like, hey, it's just dinosaurs, carnivore dinosaurs from Triassic to Cretaceous. That's it. This is 1881. 1986, over 100 years, someone says like, hey, no, the word theropod means birds and dinosaurs together. So nothing changed, okay? Nothing changed. The data is the same, but the influence of evolutionary ideas changed the definition. Right. So now someone can find something that looks like a bird with feathers and everything and call a theropod because they're all together in the same group. But why they're in the same group? Because they believe that dinosaurs and birds, they have a relationship. There's some relationship between birds and dinosaurs. So let's put them together in the same group. So sometimes when we're talking, especially when we're talking with evolutionist scientists, we have to say like, okay, what is your definition of feather? Okay, what is the definition of bird? What is the definition of aves? What is the definition of dinosaur? What is the definition of a theropod? Because sometimes we can be just like talking about theropod, but he's thinking about theropod, dinosaurs, and birds together. And I'm just thinking about the first definition of 1881, that is just dinosaurs. So we have to have those ideas in our mind, because when we're reading, we don't know. If we don't go back to the history and understand that those definitions change, we go back and we see them read, and it's like, oh, they're talking about the same thing that I'm thinking, but they're not talking about the same thing that we're thinking. It's totally different. So, the whole definition of the words changed, especially after 1986, with the influence of evolutionary ideas. And now we're just talking about, we're using the same word, but talking about things that are totally very, very different.
So that's interesting. The evidence did not change for dinosaur to bird evolution.
No.
The definitions of words are what changed to help promote dinosaur to bird evolution.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. Wow. Yes.